Morning to all. Today our chapter is Light chapter, Light and Shadow from class 7 physics book. Let me discuss some important points regarding light chapter. This is called lesson review. First point. What is light? Now, light is a form of energy which causes the sensation of vision. This is the definition of light. Second point, they are discussing what is source of light. Now, a source of light is anything that emits or produces light. Third point, they are discussing about luminous object. What is luminous object? The objects which produce or emit light are called luminous object. For example, the sun, stars, a burning candle, fluorescent tube, hot filament of an electric bulb are all examples of luminous object. Next point, they are discussing about non-luminous object. What is that? The objects which do not emit light are called non-luminous object. Just example, the earth, table, chair, the moon, etc. are all examples of non-luminous bodies or objects. I think it is clear. Next what they are discussing about bioluminescence. What is that? Bioluminescence is the production and emission of light by living organism. Next is hot source of light. Hot source of light means the source of light which emits light only when heated are called hot source of light. For example, burning coal is hot source of light. Next they are discussing cold source of light. What is that? The sources which emit light when they are cold are called cold sources of light. For example, lead are cold sources of light. The moon shines at night, but the moon is a non-luminous object because it does not emit light of its own. It appears to emit light because the light from the sun falls on the moon and gets reflected. Next, what is luminous intensity? Next point. The brightness of a source of light is called its luminous intensity. Next, they are discussing about transparent objects. Objects which allow light to pass through them are called transparent objects. For example, glass, water, acrylic sheet, air. These are all examples of transparent objects. Okay. Let us go next point. Next point, opaque object. Objects which do not allow light to pass through them are called opaque. For example, metal, rock, wood, these are all examples of opaque object. Opaque means which do not allow light to pass through them. Next one, translucent. Next one is translucent object. Objects which allow only a part of light to pass through them are called translucent object. For example, frosted window glass, plastic bag, through which light can pass partially, not whole. Next point, they are discussing the nature of light. Now, light travels in a straight line. Very important point you have to memorize. A shadow is formed when an opaque object is placed in the path of light. Next is they are discussing about the pinhole camera, umbra. The dark portion of a shadow which with sharp edges is called the umbra, and penumbra in case of pinhole camera. A region of varying brightness surrounding the umbra is called the penumbra. Next is solar eclipse is caused when the light of the sun is cut off partially or totally by the moon, and the shadow of the moon falls on the earth. Next one is a lunar eclipse happens when the moon moves into the shadow of the earth. Next is solar eclipse and the sun should never seen with naked eyes. These are the important points we have discussed. Thank you for today's class. Next day I will do more.